Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Very soon, William Samoei Ruto will have to find another job to Musalia-Bold if the petition presented in High Court today will go successful. A lobby group has gone to Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of the office, or rather the illegality of the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, which in simple terms is the Prime Minister. And the lobby group have argued their case in High Court today that the office is unconstitutional and Ruto did an overreach to create that office, including the office of the gender office in the office of the president held by Harriet Chegai, and advisor of the president on matters gender, Harriet, and advisor to the president on matters of internal security, Monica Juma, who had also served under Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. The lobby group are already sending a warning to William Ruto that he's not going to get away with this and has to be argued in court. This is not lightly. This is not a very light matter. And they want to explain in details why it has come at the wrong time for Kenya Kwanza administration. First, let me remind you about Bryant's appeal. Now, the last mass action in the most ugly face of police brutality, this gentleman here suffered. He was beaten, and the trending video of police officers beating some gentleman in Nyalenda. This is the gentleman. He's known as Brian Orinda. The family reached out to me because 7 days later, after he was put on ICT in ICU, he passed on, and they're just in the final touches of burial. Now, I've got in contact with them and I've spoken with the mother, and what we have gathered is they're only missing on the transport and bit of the casket. So, as the Bold, I opted that we support them with 50,000 to go towards that guy's burial. I said that we cannot complain. We are also part of the solution. So I'm reaching out to you on behalf of this family. Kindly, let's donate as little as what you have. I've already had 4,000. I was giving myself target today. I'm going to reach what we're going to get at midnight. Then we can move to tomorrow if there will be need. But then we shall do one fundraiser going live so that we finish up. We only need 50,000. If we do this, we'll be done. And also let's support. He died clearly on police brutality. And I shared the video of the audio of the mother in this here. So I'm going to share it at the end of this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, back to Musalia-Bold. One of the items that Kenya Kwanza presented in that bipartisan talks is institutionalizing or embedding in the constitution the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary. The office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, for them to do it, even them themselves, it was done under this mostly misused tag of president's order or something. But it is not yet clear where that office falls, because in the hierarchy, it is the president, the deputy president, then Speaker of the National Assembly, then Speaker of the Senate. That is how it is. So Musalia-Bold comes distance fifth. This is because for you to alter the structure of the executive, there is no shortcut apart from the universal suffrage. There is no shortcut apart from referendum. And I saw that proposal, and if you speak to some few lawyers in the corridors, they will tell you that for you to alter, expand, or reduce, if the Prime Cabinet Secretary is an office in the executive office of the president, because Mudavadi attends the cabinet meetings, then it has to get to the constitution. Any other thing is a shortcut. And the Kenya Kwanza team have been so cagey about this. And that is why they are also hijacking the bipartisan talks to sneak in the Musalia-Mudavadi's issue. Remember, even that of the creation of opposition leader is supposed to get to referendum. The other shortcuts about it is just to make it at the discretion of the National Assembly. So what has happened now is that it has come at a time that they want to hijack the bipartisan talks so that they can bring it. Because they know very well that the Constitution will stipulate it very clearly that something on the executive, altering the structure of the executive, there is no shortcut apart from referendum. Number two, there is a case. This is a very sensitive case because, and it's one that is really going to haunt William Ruto, and I want you to listen keenly. That post was given to son of Hannah, Musalia-Mudavadi. It was a political post because, irrespective of how you put it, the job description, I remember when it was being created, the job description was plucking some Samuel from Gachagua, Michael from Kindiki, and getting David from who, and putting it up together, getting David from the office of the president and putting it up together so that you get roles from Musalia-Mudavadi. But a clear cutting point, the cutting edge input of the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary is not clear. It is one that it is just jargons used to create roles, and it's work in progress. It has not yet been cut out clearly. Now, this is a political post. The judges would not know. There have been two cases, two controversial cases that were lodged in the High Court, and government lost. And these cases, one was the 50 CS. They were kicked out by the High Court. And William Ruto let them go to Mombasa and tell those who are affected that, government is huge, I'm going to find you something to do somewhere. Then, the finance bill was also kicked out by the judges. What we later saw, the two judges, there are some judges that, the ones that were in charge of the case, that had the case on 50 CS, and the High Court, all of them were transferred. That transfer was very suspicious, with political pundits raising eyebrows that a transfer is one of the tools used in those corridors to punish judges. Now, even within the judiciary, there is some fight back, and I'm making a very strong prediction on this point. This case will be high profile. Yes, number one, it will be high profile because you need to understand that Musalia-Mudavadi was not appointed yesterday. It is 1 year since, not even 1 year, but the cabinet was named in December. So it is some 8 months since that position was given. Why now? It is very clear, and William Ruto knows very well, that if there was an executive hand to punish the judges that passed those two controversial cases, the finance bill and the 50 CS, then this is the time to fight back. And I will not be shocked to hear a High Court has suspended the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary. It will not be a breaking news to me. You wait, we'll come back here and realize. And I will tell you one of the reasons why William Ruto must also be very worried about this. In any case, it is suspended. This has brought a discussion to this country. It has brought the discussion on that office. Because honestly, the common man doesn't understand. Not the common man, but Kenyan seems not to get the value for that office. Everyone else knows that that office, the last time we had that office, it was in 2008, 2013, 2012, and it was a grand coalition government after some talks. Then on this one, it was a position that was promised. In fact, what Musalia-Mudavadi holds is just Musalia-Mudavadi, that position is just an elevated cabinet secretary. And confirmed reports are showing that his salary and those of the other cabinet members are the same. The only differences are some privileges, probably when he's going out, per diem, allowances, but the salaries are somehow flat rate. But what I've always seen is the position Musalia-Bold holds is this a cabinet secretary that has been given another name, prime cabinet secretary. Why not prime minister? That is it. He sits in cabinet. If you look at the sitting arrangement, Ruto sits there in the middle chairing it, then Rigathi, then Musalia-Bold will get himself in the middle of the whole thing, in the middle of the whole group. So it is it. But secondly, litigation has been gobbling public funds. And some others argue that even people that represent government can even sponsor these cases to be these petitions so that they get litigation. That is how they get money. When they're supposed to present government, defend government in the court, then it's some extra packages within them. It is going to be a very long battle. It has come at a time that the bipartisan talks are going on. And while it's going to be challenged in court, it is going to be the center of focus. Because I know for sure Kenya Kwanza were determined on the position of the opposition leader. And I'm coming back to do an analysis on that. Because it is also one of the most contentious issues that people have been talking about in this country. I don't know what you think about this petition. But from my end, William Ruto is going to get a fair share of his dose. Because the judges are going to punish him. If it is going to be some fight back. Because it seems in the judiciary, there is no synergy. Things are not working out right. Things are simply not working out right. And someone can use this as a tool to send a message. Thank you.
Mama, iwacho ni ng'anyo moro mane mar ariyo ni.
Mar ariyo mane otim for 3 days no. Koro nochako Wednesday, Thursday, kaso Friday, Friday manogoye. Koro koro kako teo osiptal to bedo in coma. Koro otieko 1 week kendi koro okete oxygen. Oketo
chieng' week oketo oxygen
ken coma oketo oxygen. Koro otieko 1 week agik Sunday. To.
Agik Sunday to.
Koro otieko mana 1 week. Oko chiem to nen. Koro kagik Sunday nute kako.
Agoni mos makende wago mos maduong' ahinya. Nen wuodi maradi?
En chogo, en wuoda mar auchiel.
En wuodi mar auchiel. To notimo ang'o Kisumu?
Kisumu nyoto tiyo mane hotel.
Nyoto tiyo mane hotel, Mos ahinya wachne to koro owacho ni useyudo kaka inyalo ang'o mane wacho ni useyudo cha?
Kaka inyalo chul bill.
Mar osiptal. Ne nitie nyaka mar osiptal,
ne nitie nyaka mar osiptal gi mar michari. Koro podo rem dia gine beche ma unjo joga godala kaka dhi ome. Kaso gidiang be poko yudi ke ng'eni joluo to nyaka welo ama boyo nyaka ne chiem. Koro mago poni kanyo matindo go.
Koro nitie gima nowuok e telo maduong' lakini pod ok oromo.
Pod ok rom.
Okay.